Welcome to Midday Mobility and Strength. For today's session, you're going to need a chair of any description, one that you can sit in and also one that you can lean on. I am Jen Wilson, the Healing Rebel, and here to take you through today's session. So let's sit comfortably, sit tall. I'm just going to turn my chair around so you can have a quick side-on view here. So I'm not leaning against the back of the chair, sitting away and have ear, shoulder, hip stacked over each other. Now we're going to rub our hands together. So if you've been sitting at your desk all morning, if you've been on your phone, if you've been typing, your hands, or even if you've been old school writing, your hands might be tight, they might be feeling a bit tender. So take one hand, rub the back of the other. Now if you have a nice hand cream, this could be a brilliant time to get that massage done. So rub the back of the other hand, and then let's go up each finger individually and just notice how that feels. Get into the space between the fingers as well. And notice how that feels. So from Wednesday the 9th of November, I will be putting this class out publicly for you to join for a 6-week block. So that's going to run us up to the Christmas holidays. So if you know somebody who's sitting at a desk all day and needs a half-hour breakaway and they want to join, please do put them in touch with me. Get them to check out my social media or send me a message at jen@iamjenwilson.com, because this is free as part of the Glasgow Girls Club membership that want to open it out to the public. Let's link our fingers, bring the heel of the hands together and get a couple of circles in each direction. And then change direction. And then let's link the fingers the other way. So whichever thumb was your top thumb, make the other thumb the drop thumb. And then let's go for a couple of circles in each direction. Then link the fingers, press the palms out. Let's lift up. Try and lift your rib cage away from your hips. Reaching right up. Now if you can, depending on how your shoulders are feeling just now, can you take your hands slightly behind? And then release and bring that down. I'm going to do that again. Link the fingers, press the palms out, reach right up. Lift your rib cage up nice and high and release and bring that down. Let's do that again. Reach it up, lift those ribs, release and bring it down. Let the hands rest on your lap and circle the shoulders around. And just notice how they are feeling. If they're crunching, creaking, well, you probably need to do this a little bit more. While you're doing this, I want you to notice how much is your head kind of moving around and how much is your chest popping forward and back, and try and keep the chin and the rib cage still, just so that we're really isolating into these shoulder joints. Now let's bring our elbows into the waist, palms to the ceiling. Still sitting tall, still keeping your chin and your ribs tucked in. We're going to move the hands away from each other. As we're moving the hands away, this upper arm bone is turning out and we are drawing the shoulder blades in towards each other. This is table waiter. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. So if you've been sitting hunched forward, this is brilliant to help open up across the chest, across the front of the shoulders and get those upper back muscles activated. If we can build strength in these upper back muscles, it means that when we're leaning forward, we're not collapsing into the posture. We're able to sit a little bit taller. So let's go out one more time. Hold out, take an inhale. As you're exhaling, can you squeeze those shoulder blades in towards each other and down the back towards the waistband. Just a little bit more. And then let that come in, let the arms come down. Give the shoulders another release. And then we're going to have the chin tucked in. So I like to bring my finger, just gently sit on the chin to make sure that it doesn't pop forward. And then I'm going to tilt my head to bring my ear towards my shoulder, so my nose is still pointing straight ahead here. Notice how this feels through the long side of the neck. Bring your head up, take it over to the other side, and again notice how does this feel down that long side of the neck. Bring it up, keeping the chin tucked in, let the head tilt over. Now we're going to hold here. Where you feel tension, I want you to back away from it very slightly. Take an inhale. As you're exhaling, lean over and see if that helps release. Now you might want to reach your hand down towards the floor to get more length here. You might also want to bring your hand up and just gently let it rest on top of the head. So we're not pulling the head over, we're just using the weight of the hand to help create a little bit more length here. So don't force anything. Always listen to your body, and if anything feels intense or painful in a way that does not feel useful, then please back away from it. Let's bring it up, keep the chin tucked in, go to the other side. Find that end point where it's starting to feel tight, back away from it slightly, take an inhale. As you're exhaling, can you release over any further? Maybe you take your reach down, maybe you bring your hand onto your head on this side. Now you don't have to do exactly the same thing on both sides. Listen to your body, respond to what your body's telling you. After your next exhale, bring that back to the centre. Now keeping the chin tucked in, turn to look over one shoulder. Notice how this feels across your shoulders. So if your chest and shoulders start to follow the head, keep them square and just turn the head. Bring it through the centre and turn the head. Bring it through the centre and turn. Bring it through the centre and turn. Now we're going to come back to the centre and turn a little bit further. So we're going to turn the head until it feels like the shoulders want to follow. Then we're going to let the shoulders follow, then let the breastbone follow, then let the ribs follow. Bring your opposite hand across the thigh. Maybe bring your other hand towards the back of your chair, but if that feels too intense, don't force it. Maybe you have both hands to the sides of your thigh. But think about, can you get the rib cage to turn? And then we're going to unravel rib cage, breastbone, shoulders, head. Now turn the head the other way. Let the shoulders follow, breastbone follows, rib cage follow. Hands come across and take a little bit of rotation. Release rib cage, breastbone, shoulders, head. Turn the head. Spiral down the spine, just like you're going in, corkscrew going into a cork in the wine bottle. Rotating round, unraveling from the rib cage up through the shoulders to the head. Turn the head. And this is a really mindful practice. So if you start to find that you're just turning the whole body at one time, stop yourself, bring yourself back to the centre, and then be really intentional with this. So we want it to feel relaxing and purposeful. So if you're getting stressed, going, oh, my whole body's moving at once, just notice that that's what's happening, bring it back, take a breath, and then come back into it. The body's always looking for its path of least resistance. Unravel back. So let's do that one more time to each side. Turning from the head, then let the shoulders follow, let the breastbone follow, the rib cage. Hands come across into that rotation. Unravel the opposite way, so from the hands, rib cage, breastbone, shoulders, head. Turn the head, let the shoulders follow, breastbone, rib cage. And into rotation, bringing it back to the centre. We're going to go into a little bit of lateral flexion, so side bend. So you can bring your hands down onto your seat to help keep you stable. We're going to reach one hand up. Now keep both your butt cheeks on your seat and start to lean over as though you're trying to reach to the opposite side of the room. So the rib cage is lifting up and away from the hips. But I want you just to check the position of this top shoulder. Let's not let it rotate forward. Let's keep the shoulders stacked on top of each other as you take that reach. Reaching up as you come back through the centre to look for that length. Bring that arm down, reach the other arm up, lift the ribcage up away from the hips, and take that lean over to the other side. Can you reach to the room at the other side? Again, check in with this top shoulder, make sure we're not rotating forward, keep the shoulder back, and open. Now your flexibility on one side versus the other may be very different, and that's okay. Bring it up, reach it up. We're always just listening, responding to what our body is telling us. Now here, let's take an inhale, fill into this open side of the body. As you're exhaling, does that let you soften in any further? Inhale up, reach up, bring the arm down, onto the other side. Reach up, get that length through the rib cage, leaning over, So go to your end point. Take an inhale. As you exhale, can you get more comfortable or get a little bit more reach in there? Inhale, bring it back up, taking a nice big reach and bring the arm down. Now from here, I'm just going to turn my chair around. Hands onto the thighs, bring the chin into the chest. Let the shoulders start to curl forward. Sliding hands down the legs, rounding out the spine. Keep your tummy muscles drawn in so that we're protecting the lower back. And just come as far forward as feels comfortable here. Take an inhale. As you're exhaling, think about drawing in your tummy muscles, restacking the spine. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Bring the chin up, then lift the chin away from the chest, but keep the neck long. Bring the hands behind, either to the lower back or to the chair, wherever's more comfortable to reach. Lift the breastbone, so we're lifting it up nice and high. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open across the chest. Take an inhale at your end point, filling into the front of the body. Exhaling, restacking the spine, bringing the chin down. Let's go forward again. So rounding out the spine, leaning forward, taking an inhale at your end point. As you're exhaling, can you roll up? Shoulder blades drop back and down, lifting the chin, looking up, hands come behind, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then let that restack. We're going to bring ourselves up using our chair to help give us a little bit of balance support. I'm just going to move back slightly. So stand tall. Take your weight into the leg that's closest to your chair. Now I want you to stay tall through your hip here. Lift the other leg. I'm just going to turn that front on and swing the leg forward and back. So as I'm coming forward and back, upper body, ear, shoulder, hip are staying stacked, and I'm not letting that swing forward and back. I'm trying to let the swing happen from the hip. Now we're going to go out the way, taking that leg out to the side. Try and keep the hip bones level as you're doing this, and keep your upper body upright so we're not leaning over to the side. Come forward into a semicircle. So maybe point the toe as you're doing this so you don't scuff the toes off the floor. Semicircle. Ooh, so if your butt cheek and this balancing leg's starting to get warm, that's okay. This balancing leg is doing a lot of work even if you're holding on. Let's go through one more time. Ooh, release off that balancing leg and let's give it some work. So let's go to the other side. So I'm just going to move my chair around. You can turn around, whatever works better for you. So again, tall through that balancing leg. And let's start with the leg swinging forward and back. So it's just trying to free up the hip. So if you've been sitting all day, you're going to be tight in at the front of the hip. Ooh, nice big deep breaths in and out. Then we're going to go out to the side. Good. And then let's come forward with that toe pointed into the D shape or semicircle. Still keeping that upper body upright. Whee, nice. Bum is getting warm. And let that come in. Release that off. Now pedal up and down on the heels. So again, if you've been sitting down all day, ankles might be a little bit stiff, a little bit tight. So all I'm doing is just pedaling the heels up and down. And we're going to step one foot back. So let's keep the chair where it is. Outside leg, step it back. So just whatever your normal walking step is, we're not going really long with this. And then can you start to bend the back leg, but still keep your shoulder hip stacked. And then come back up. So it's a tiny, we could call it a lunge if you like. Tiny movement coming down. What I want you to be really conscious of right now is we're not pushing weight into that front leg. We're trying to keep the weight in the back leg. Bending it down and coming back up. So bending it down. This front leg's just there to help us balance. We're not taking load into that front leg at this time. So just in a range that feels right for you. And then let's swap to the other side. So I'm just going to turn around on the spot, taking that step, and then that back leg starting to bend, and then come back up. So trying as much as possible not to load into the front leg. The front leg is going to bend a little bit. This is really going to help get a wee bit of a stretch into the front of your hip flexor and help activate into your backside. And also just create a little bit of awareness in your body. Right, one more time here. And then we're going to step the feet out wide. Now, if you want to have your chair in front of you, just to give you some support and balance, I'm going to show you this front on and then I'll show you side on. We're going to bring our feet out quite wide and have the toes turned out. Then we're going to push the knees out the way as we drop the hips straight down. Now, what I want you to check is that your feet are not collapsing in and your knees are not collapsing in. So push the knees out the way. I'm going to show you this side on. So if you're not sure about balance, hold on to your chair. Think ear, shoulder, hips stacked. Sliding down and then back up. So keep pushing the knees out the way. If you're feeling any discomfort in the knees, maybe try your feet at a different width or your toes at a different angle. I need to turn my toes quite far out to help get the butt muscles activated because I'm very tight in the inner thighs. And then from here, I'm just going to turn this front on so that you can see what's going to happen at my feet. Come down, hold down, and then heel lift, heel lift. So this is where chair can be super useful to help our balance. But you could be doing it without the chair. Look, mum, no hands. I'm just going to keep the chair there just now, just to have a tiny bit of support. Pop that heel up. Now try and keep the hips level so you can see I'm not bobbing up and down here. Ooh, burning the butt. Which is really good if you're sitting down all day to get that strength in your backside. Get the blood flow going to your backside. Let's do that one more time to each side. Stand the legs up, give them a little bit of a shake off. Now we're going to use the chair again. I'm going to turn it round so that the seat part is facing me, just so that I don't pull the chair over onto me. Standing in front of the chair, hinge at the hips so that the hands can be rested on the top of your chair. And then just start to edge the feet back. So just a little shuffle back, keeping the spine long. This is going to start to give us some length through our lats, so these muscles down the sides of the ribs. Edge and back, edge and back, edge and back. Now you stop where it feels like it's enough of a stretch for you. We want to keep the spine long, so this is going to hit the tummy muscles without us even having to think about hitting the tummy muscles. Can you, and it's okay if you can't, can you keep going back with a long spine until you feel like your arms are at full extension? And then can you think about sending your butt back, just to really help get this stretch. You might feel, I can feel my stretch right down into my butt, all the way up and up the sides of the back. So depending on where you're tight will determine where you feel this. You might feel it tighter on one side than you do the other. Can you take a deep breath in, slow breath out. And then start to shuffle that back in. Now I'm going to turn my chair around again, just so that I'm only using the back of it to lean on. We're not going to go into as much of a stretch as we did there, but we are going to hinge forward from the hip. And then one leg, keeping the ankle flexed, so we're going to pull the toes back and press through the heel, push that leg out behind and bring it down, and push it out behind and bring it down and out behind. So spine stays long Leg stays long as though you're trying to get your heel to reach something behind you. We're going to do that another 2 times. I'm trying to keep count. Last one. Bring it down, switch to the other side. So lengthen that leg out and bring it down. Push through the heel. That's going to really help activate the muscles in your backside. Two more. Keep the breath going. That's going to help you get through this. Bring it down. We're going back to the first side. We're going to extend the leg out. We're going to bend the knee and then push the foot up to the ceiling. Two more times. Bring that all the way down, switch it to the other side, bring the leg out, bend the knee about 90 degrees, push the sole of the foot up to the ceiling. Two more. Bring it down, back to the first leg. We're going to extend it out, bend the knee, and then let's go for some hip circles. After this one, change the direction. 4 times round. 3, 4, bring that down. Right, other side. Leg comes out, we bend at the knee. 4 circles, one direction. 4 circles the other direction. Bring the foot down. Let's shuffle back. Let's go in for that stretch. You might go back further this time, you might not go back as far. Send the hips back, spine long. Walk it back in. Pedal the heels up and down. Come back into your seat. Sitting forward on your chair, hands onto the thighs. Let the chin drop into the chest, let the hands slide down the legs. Take an inhale at your end point. Exhale, roll it up. Stacking the spine, bring the hands behind. Look up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest, take an inhale. Exhale, restack. Turn the head, let the shoulders follow, let the rib cage follow. Hands come across, take some rotation. Unravel from the ribs, through the chest, through the shoulders, to the head. Turn the head, turn the shoulders, turn the breastbone, the ribs. Hands come across into your rotation. Unravel, ribs, chest, shoulders, heads. We're going back into our side bend. So one hand on the seat, other hand reaches up. Lift the ribs away from the hips. Take it into a side lean. Bring that up, let that arm float down. Take the arm up on the other side, reach it up. Take it over. Bring it up, let the arm float down. Go into your shoulder rolls. Notice how the shoulders feel. So although we've not done a lot of work in the shoulders, just the movement that we've done, even those stretches, holding onto the back of the chair, give your shoulders a stretch. It can help get movement in there. Let the body sit. Notice the soles of the feet. Notice your posture. Be aware of how you feel now. So hopefully you feel a bit freer, a bit more mobile, maybe a bit more energised, so that when you go in to do your afternoon's work, you feel alive and ready for it. So if you're interested in the Mobility and Strength 6-week block that starts on Wednesday the 9th of November, or if you know anybody who is interested, please do get in touch with me. Email jen@iamjenwilson.com or comment on the post and I will get back in touch with you. Alright, thank you so much. Thank you.